All right, in this quick video, we are going to just really quickly talk about the mouth, the lips specifically, and how to do kind of a quick version of lips that still reads believably as lips. Again, these can get a lot more complicated. For those of you that have been drawing a long time, I do want you to look up different lips. You can look up different stylized lips. You can look up different faces and different structures of the mouth. We are going to start talking about like how to simplify and imply expression soon, but I want you to kind of analyze different ways to draw lips, and all of us kind of have our preferred way. I want you to try to expound on that. And again, it's all about drawing quantity, and keep them rough, keep them loose. You're just doing studies at this point, okay? So you're not expecting to have refined pieces of work here. So the lips themselves, if you look at the structure of a set of lips, they kind of break down into 5 different parts. You can kind of think of them as 5 little cylinders. And what we want to do is I'm going to open up an image of lips. And these are, I think these are Rihanna's lips. But as I said, there's like kind of 5 cylinders that are kind of making up your lip. Again, we're thinking often of forms that we're kind of going back to over and over again. So if we're looking at the lips themselves, I'm actually going to turn the opacity down a little bit there so I can draw over it a little more effectively. And we want to, in terms of the size, we're thinking of, there's kind of these, there's like a kind of a cylinder here, and again this is going to be really blocky, and then there is a cylinder on the other side. You can think of that, so that's another piece of the lips. And these are not flat. Our lips are not flat. Our jaw is quite rounded on the face itself, and so these are going to be actually they're kind of bending back more into the face. And then there's this little piece here that's going to behave a little differently, and I think of that as another cylinder. And then there's these 2 kind of prominent cylinders. Again, this is generalized, and these are pretty idealized lips. Everyone's are going to be a little bit different, but this is kind of the underlying kind of structure, you can think of it, of the lips themselves. So if you're kind of thinking of that while you're drawing, I'm not expecting people to actually draw this each time, but you can kind of think of this as that generalized idea behind the lips. And then you want to, obviously they're not very like rigid like this, they're quite dynamic, and you can kind of think of it as the different kind of portions on the lips themselves, and that kind of helps you to kind of like generate that shape and helps you with the bulk. It also helps you with when you do start doing some workflow with lighting. It does help you to understand the forms themselves and helps to generate lighting. So that's just kind of a quick version of how to kind of get that underlying structure of the lips, is to think of them as like 5 cylinders. We can kind of generalize again, and again, if I'm kind of popping it onto one of my just like a basic face that I've drawn through a little bit with, again, we're kind of, this is where my nose will be, this is where my eyes would reside, and that's kind of the bottom of my nose in this zone. And then my lips are kind of around here. I think I made the jaw a little bit too long. But again, we don't have this like, we're not obviously putting it on like that. This face is turned to the side a little bit, and it's in the 3/4 view. So you want to actually also have your kind of, make sure your mouth is rounded when you're drawing that. Again, another way to kind of stylize it is to kind of, that upper lip is super important. So you can kind of have this kind of idea on the upper lip. This is kind of representing the little dip in the middle, and then you can have just your bottom lip. So that's a quick way to do kind of the lips in general, and I'm going to get you to practice that. And I also want you to look up some different ways to draw lips. We're going to do, the next thing we touch on with lips is we're going to look at how to simplify them more and how to ensure that they're communicating expressions. So again, 5 cylinders. Upper lip is really important in terms of reading that lip. When you are tilting the face a little bit to the side, you want to ensure that it is quite curved, and you're making this side kind of look like it's narrower, just like with the eye, which I did a bad job of there, than this side here. The bottom lip, implying with the bottom lip, is also really, really important. So look up some different types of lips, draw them from different types of angles too.